Go back in time, explain history to a bunch of illiterate people, and then explain history to a bunch of literally illiterate people in the active past that we consider our present right now. I was telling my dad over there because it was taking forever this load and it pissed me off because I'm tired of these little assholes, right? Said every time they do that, I come over here because they can't handle the truth. They can't manipulate it and say they're managing access to me to other people that can't handle the truth, right? You're like sitting there. I told him a story about Bathsheba and Uriah again and stuff, and he says, "You're rewriting it. You're rewriting history." And what do you mean I'm rewriting history? He sits there and says, "That's not the way it went down." Yeah, he's like Michael Youssef. Old Michael Youssef. And David was a bad guy. Slept with Uriah's wife. Uriah was a good guy. Wanted to go back and die honorably with his men, but David set him out to be killed all by himself because he felt guilty because he slept with Uriah's wife. Guys, you obviously don't know history, do you? Okay. Uriah did not introduce Bathsheba to David as his wife. David went for a walk and went down to the thing. This woman's taking a bath in public. She's married and showing that she's sexually available to King David. He says, "Have her brought to my room." Okay. They have sex. Then he finds out that that's Uriah's wife. Okay. That's the way it went down. You don't know history. Okay. And besides, okay, if you do know history, right, if a woman is supposed to be a man's wife, right, and he believes in money and not the Lord's Prayer, and she's a sex industry worker, and she goes to the top of a VIP room and brings in $10,000 that night, okay, is that living the Lord's Prayer? Is that loving faithful righteousness? Okay. So you'll find that sin today and sin in 4000 BC or 2000 BC or whenever, okay, is the same. Sin is sin no matter what you try to cover it up in and paint it with. All right? So the reason why David sent Uriah, okay, because when you look at the text, he says, "Go sleep with your wife. Otherwise, all the hypocrites and heathen that think they're self-righteous will kill that woman and that unborn baby." Okay? And all babies are conceived from the glory of God, even if it's man's sin. So don't let my sin and your wife's sin kill that baby, right? And Uriah goes, "No. So you're going to let that baby die so you can be the king of Israel." That's when David knew, you want to know what it's like to be a little baby that sinners won't protect from their sin? So he wrote down a letter and said, "Send Uriah out all by himself with a bunch of self-righteous hypocrites and sinners and let them pass judgment on him." Okay? And if you don't believe that, you're just an asshole who would blow up an abortion clinic because you're a self-righteous pile of shit. Okay? And the only reason people go to abortion clinics is because sex is sin with money, and they don't want the child to get in the way of their sin, right? Okay. So if you see marriage as a holy covenant, and reproduction of children is how we continue to love each other eternally through the gift of life, through the glory of God, then you're not like all of you assholes on TV or on YouTube or Facebook asking for more money to promote your sin, right? So one of us here is like King David, and the rest of you are not. It's like that little skit on Sesame Street. One of these kids is not like the others. Some of these kids are kind of the same. Can you guess which kid is not like the others? Tell me before my song is done. And now my song is done. Right? Near, far. Near, far. Opposite. Okay. Jim Henson was teaching us how to lay back and enjoy the rape, because you have to learn to read to be a trained consumer, because the Lord's Prayer is an incantation from corporations that we live in the clouds after we're dead. Right? According to all you Bible thumpers, all you Quran thumpers, all you Book of Mormon thumpers, And according to all you scientists that want to kill all those thumpers, okay, and blow Thumper off the trail, in real life, friend to hell would eat Thumper. So if you're a rabbit, don't see an owl as your friend, right? Or he'll also, okay, eat your Tootsie Pop. I've never got through without biting. 1, 2, 3, 3. How many licks does it take to get to the center? The world will may never know. How many licks does it take to get to the end of advertising? Until you get syphilis or gonorrhea or HIV and die from it. Okay? So stop it. Okay? Yeah, Jesus told me that today. He said, God is an economy to most people. If God works for them and takes care of their physical needs and their physical fantasies, God fits in their life. If God doesn't work for their physical needs or fantasies, they get a new God. Okay? Be it science, economics, artificial intelligence, right? So, just get a new God. If the God that you have isn't pleasing you, you can always make a new one, right? Now, faith in infinite glory is faith in God. Okay, inventing a new God because you didn't like your old one, that's original sin. Okay. The moment you try to take the mind and trap the soul in the mind and have no faith in glory, that's when you've fallen from the heavens like a bolt of lightning. And blah, 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 blah. And when they turn it into mythology, you know how those Romans are at turning shit into mythology. Et tu, Brute? Okay. Julius Caesar would like to be declared God so he can protect Rome from all its enemies. Right? Hey, if you don't understand the people that wrote down the book that you think you're practicing worship from, you're going to kill somebody for making fun of you keeping your dog food in the refrigerator. Right? 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 Analyze this. Right? Is that Billy Crystal? See my shrink? Right? Do people ever tell you no? Yeah, like, no, please don't kill me. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, hey, is that Henry Hill? It's easier to fix basketball games now than it was back in his days. Oh yeah, they could program people like they're programming a video game. You don't even see it coming. And they don't care about brain damage because they don't have any faith in God. I didn't see that. I'm like, you guys do know that when you cause brain damage on other people, the actions of those people affect you, and then you, okay, are a result of their brain damage that you inflict on other people. And in fact, it's more appropriate to look at it that they are the result of your brain damage, right? So if you abuse people to manipulate them with money, they might be inclined to live the Lord's Prayer, but you take that away from them because you have brain damage, right? So the highest, lowest of the low is the highest of the high, right? Do you understand? Okay. We're going to load this one up. And, I get this woman in my head that's supposed to be Jennifer Lopez, probably a program at White Sands. But then every time I say that, I say, well, my family knows who I am, and they're as stupid as Jennifer Lopez, so maybe she does know who I am, because Sarzana Martinez and the Koch brothers know who I am, right? And so I sit there, and I get this woman, why don't you go get your teeth taken care of and get your medical benefits? And I explain to her, Jenny Lenny, okay? Did you watch those people get saved from that sinking yacht in Miami? Right? They weren't saved. We're not living the Lord's Prayer. Okay, they ain't saved nobody, and they ain't saved themselves. They just moved a bunch of drunks from one sinking ship to another sinking ship, and then said, hey, go down to the race car track and kill yourself with carbon emission poisoning and tire particles through entertainment. And we're saving their lives. Just shut up, take your drugs, lay back and enjoy the rape. And everybody looked like Connie Chung, like you're totally amazed that Bobby Knight, trained by West Point, said that out loud in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Do you even care about yourself? Don't you even care if you live or die? Are you sadomasochistic? Why don't you ask David Goggins and Andrew Huberman these fucking questions? And while you're at it, ask Matt Damon and Ben Affleck or Ken Affleck or Barbie Affleck. I mean, for crying out fucking Electra Loud. Go hang out in an airport lounge and make lots of money through organic farming while you're killing Shelby and Patricia at the airport in Humble, Texas. and then say how righteous and holy you are because you drive a Tesla. I mean, what the hell's wrong with you people? Nobody can drive a Tesla. No one can afford a Tesla except for rich people that hang out in airport lounges and have organic farms and kill the poor people when they go to the airport. Ah! Thank you, Carol Burnett. I mean, come on already. Carol. Load this one up, you disgusting little military surveillance peckerwood pussy plantation at NASA. Okay? And if you don't know who you are, you got to understand NASA ain't your massa. NASA is a bunch of pimps at the hoe cake factory selling hoe cake. And if you don't believe that, Buzz Lightyear really is a hero. Okay, guys, I love you. Peace.